and I'll reveal it in a moment, we will fall back to the old identity. No matter how many times we meditate on it, we open our hearts, we um, meditate, we do a lot of practices and so on. We had an inspiration, an idea, an aha. But if we don't put it into practice from that energy, from that space, what will happen is that the ego will come back, right? So at that point, when we are aligning with our true nature, with our highest self, with who we truly are, the ego gets in the back space, right? Doesn't have control. But if we don't embody, if we don't take aligned action from that space, from that vibration of our true identity, then the energy, it's up in the air. It won't embody at the cellular level. Only when we take that aligned action, which in this case is making this video, because I was meditating, contemplating, I had some insights of what is my next inspiration, what is life guiding me towards. And it's actually something that I've been postponing for years, this project that I am launching. And I noticed in the past I would get inspired by it, but I wouldn't take actions towards it. So the ego would come back, and again, that inspiration, that truth which feels aligned in your heart, then goes to the mind and makes a ping pong, right? Left, right. Logic is good, but it's not good. But look at the fears and what is not logical, doesn't make sense. There are so many things to consider, and we lose it. We lose that energy. When we take the step, even a small one, an aligned action like making this video, a live one, which is terrifying, right? For most people, it embodies that energy, that vibration, that higher frequency into the body at the cellular level. So it's like a small battle won with the ego. Otherwise, if we just align energetically and it's so nice, it feels so good, but we don't take the aligned action as well, we don't earn or conquer ground, like, like in a fortress, like in a battle on a field. We just conquer it, open the door, they surrender, but we leave. They will fortify again, right? So that is the importance of taking aligned action. We conquer that fortress. We are gaining more ground on the battlefield with the ego, which of course it's metaphorical, but it's real to some uh, till some point after when our ego actually becomes our best servant. But until then, we think we are winning the battle in our minds. We have clarity for some time. We have inspiration, but if we don't actually embody, we're not taking action. But from that space, it's not about taking action. Like. From stress or from busyness. That's not at all what I'm talking about. Many people do are in a lot of action mode, but it's not from this space. So first we align with who we truly are, what is calling us, what is our inspiration. We feel it, but from that space we take aligned action. We receive the inspiration. This is how life, that energy, that vibration wants to express through me, and we do it. And it takes courage, right? Because it will be uncomfortable most of the times. Actually, it's a good sign if you feel fear, because if you don't, then it's the ego's realm. When we are feeling fear, nervousness, anxiety to doing that embodied action, that aligned action, it's actually a good sign. This is where we should go, because we know the ego is resisting, right? So that's why we need to be aware of that feeling, what produces in us, and stay with the uncomfortableness, even if some anxiety, and breathe into it. Be present with it. Don't avoid it. Don't hide it. Don't pretend it's something else or it's good. No need to just do it. Do it with presence, from presence, with everything that comes up, with everything that shows up. This is how we transform that fear into enthusiasm. And we win that energy, the fortress, that energy that used to sabotage us and paralyze us and keep us stuck. Actually, we win, we earn, we get more energy. And next time, it will be easier because we have a new fortress. We will build another one. We conquer another one. So it gets easier and easier next time to take the next step and the next and the next. So we create momentum. We build this force that pulls us forward more and more. If we have the alignment, the inspired action, the clarity, but we don't act upon it, it's the worst thing that we can do. It's better not to have the clarity, to live in ignorance, than to have the clarity and not act on it. Because we are sending to our subconscious mind, to our ego, to our mind, the message that I'm afraid of you. And we give it more power. So it's better if you don't, if you're not going to play this game, if you're not going to fight this battle, better don't ask the questions. What I'm supposed to do, what gets me alive, what is my purpose, what is my divine calling, if you're not going to do whatever it takes to follow up on that, because it takes courage. So I know this for me has been such a deep and profound journey, and a long one, because the ego tricks us. It has so many tools to trick us, to take us back to our what is comfortable. And the one of the subtlest tricks, it's related to the spiritual ego. Because for me, for example, at some point I had a very courageous nature. I would align to this for some periods of time in my journey, where I would, you know, do public speaking in front of hundreds of people, which I was one of my biggest fears, and many other examples. But then I would go into the spiritual phase, where I would meditate for many hours per day for many years, and that got me more sensitive. The nervous system became more sensitive, and I kind of lost the lion energy, the courage, because the ego wanted to keep me safe, to feel protected. So this phase helped me quite a lot. I am very grateful for this experience of knowing the true self, of knowing reality, of connecting to God, to who I truly am. But on the other side, at some point, it kept me stuck. And the energy, life wants to move through us. And what gets us to one level, it actually becomes the um, resistance to going to the next one, to the next level. We have to let go of who we've become, even if it served us for some time, in order to go to the next level. And what is the next level? We don't know. We cannot figure out with our minds. Only our soul knows the way. So We need to surrender to it, to guide us, to our spirit, to our intuition, which speaks to us through our intuition. And actually, even deeper than that, it's an inner knowing. So, this is the new way of living life in the new earth, and what it's unfolding now for humanity. More and more of us are being invited to adopt this way of living, living from the heart, living from connection, and not figuring out with the mind, because the mind doesn't know. It's not made for that. It's not made to make us happy. It's just an amazing tool, like a computer. So, my invitation for you is twofold. First, seek deeper within what is your inspiration, what is your longing, where you're being called to go next. And then take the aligned action, embody that vibration, that inspiration. Because if you don't, it will be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And actually, as I mentioned before, you do even more harm. You lose power if you don't take aligned action on that inspiration. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope it served you. And